We can invest, baby. I'm a businesswoman too. Speaking of business, the budget babes are back. Okay, looking for ways to save you some dinero.
Yeah, and remember we asked, the viewers at home to submit some of their ideas so that we could share their projects with, other buzzards.
Yeah, well, this week we're helping you take a boring guest room from drab to fab.
Helping you make it chic on the cheap. Take a look.
Hey budget babes, I'm Holly from Bolton, Massachusetts, and I did a DIY project that allowed me to spruce up the guest room at my parents' house. I gave 2 bedside tables makeover, and here's how I did it.
Oh, how cute. Okay, the first thing Holly and her mom did was hit up a garage sale. They found 2 identical bedside tables for, get this, $20 each.
Nice.
Yeah.
Holly said they were perfect. They just needed some TLC and a pop of color. And garage sales always
No kidding.
a good idea.
Garage
Always
sales,
a good idea.
markets,
Yeah.
anything like that. But they said before they added color, what they needed to do was, of course, prep the tables. There was a couple of, blemishes on it. So they borrowed a sander from a neighbor in order to save money. And so then they sanded down the tables, and they said that removed the previous finish from the wood. Also smoothed out the visible wear and tear that was there.
Next, it was time for some paint. They picked a color that her mom was already using in the room, so they went with the color Orange Poppy, and here's what they used to paint those bad boys. Orange Poppy.
Applied the paint by using a 2-inch roller, as well as a small angled brush for the hard-to-reach areas. We ended up doing 4 coats of paint to make the tables look flawless and professionally restored.
See, one piece of advice Holly gave us is that if you're going to splurge on something, you want to make sure you buy a good quality paintbrush, because the last thing you want is for the brush to shed and the bristles to come off in the paint. So
That's,
you got to invest in something. If there's one thing, you have to invest.
That's the one thing they said that, that's the last thing you want. You've got it nice and smooth, and all of a sudden you see like that bristle in it, and you have to sand it down and start all over again.
And then that would take away the excitement of the actual project. You don't want to mess it up like that. So.
All right, so then once the paint was completely dry, what they did is they applied 3 coats of high gloss polyacrylic protective finish. She said it gave the tables like that extra shine that they were looking for, so that it really popped and it looked really professional in the room.
Right, and talk about a difference. Check out the finished product.
That's what it looked like.
Oh, wow.
Isn't it
Right?
pretty?
It's like a hotel
They did a
room.
great job.
I
Yeah,
know.
it looks really good.
Holly said not only did the tables really spruce up the room, I mean, you saw the picture, but she said the room previously had no storage whatsoever for guests, and so they picked a piece of furniture that was functional because it had the drawers in it. And then they were able to add the color and tie in, something that was already being used.
Right, but there's still one more thing left to do.
Yeah.
Given that my parents' guest room is frequently occupied, we knew we needed a glass top to ensure these tables last for a long time. A local glass cutting shop cut us 2 perfectly sized pieces of glass for $22 each. Not only will the glass protect these tables for years to come, but it also gives the tables their wow factor, making them look much more expensive than the $142 we spent on the entire project.
$142
I know.
for those bedside tables.
And the bonding that they got making these things together.
Right.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, so the nice thing is if this sounds like a project that you're interested in trying yourself, Holly sent us actually step-by-step directions that were much more detailed than what we put there.
Right.
So we're going to put those on our website.
She made her debut on national
That's
TV.
right.
Get it, girl.
It's on the DBZ.com.
And if you have any ideas that you want to share with us, we want to hear from you. You can always hit us up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thedailybuzz.
Thanks, Holly.